Welcome back to lecture series in DC machines and transformer. So in today's class we are looking into construction details of DC generator, or for DC motors also both the construction are same, only input and output are reversed. Both the construction of machine, motor and generator are same. So this is the cross-sectional view of a DC generator or DC motor. The total side view you can see from this figure, and the front view it will be looking like a cylinder and this shape. In side view, this is the rotor and this is the stator part. So first of all we are looking into stator parts, then we will look into rotor parts. So these are the stator parts. Up to this is stationary and this is air gap. After the air gap the things are rotating. So this is rotor and this is stator. This is the frame of the machine. It's the frame of the machine. So in stator we are having mainly three parts. First one is yoke. This is the yoke. Yoke is the outer covering of the motor. Whenever you are seeing a generator or motor, generally you are seeing the yoke. Yoke is the outer cover of the machine. What are the functions of the yoke and what are the material we are using to make the yoke? These are the things I want to point out. So first of all, the material used for the yoke is cast iron or cast steel. Cast iron or cast steel is the material that used for making the yoke or outer covering of a machine. If it is a small machine, we can use cast iron. If it is a large machine, it is better to use cast steel. Okay, so this is about the material. Now, what are the functions of yoke? One function is very familiar and everyone can guess that function because this is the cover. This is the protection for the machine. So, first function is, you can write, it acts as protecting cover. Is it okay? Now second function. First function is protecting cover. What is second function of yoke? Yes, think about it. What is the second function of yoke? This is magnetic part. This magnetic part is fitted on the yoke. Actually, this is the magnetic pole. This pole is fitted on the outer covering. So, it gives mechanical support to who? To magnetic pole system. You have to write in the enlarged form. I am just writing the points only. It gives mechanical support to magnetic pole system. Is it okay? Now this is the third point. Third point is very important. Some generally students will miss the third point and they will write the first and second point. But this is the main thing. If this is North Pole and this is South Pole, you know that magnetic flux will start from the north and it will reach the south. Then what happens? Will it stay there for a long time? No. It will pass back to the north again. And this path is known as return path. So, return path is provided by the yoke. If yoke is not there, the return is not possible. So, third point is provides a return path for flux. it provides a return path for flux. So, material and three functions. Yoke is over. Now we are moving into magnetic pole system. Pole core or simply pole core, and this enlarged shape is known as pole shoe. Pole shoe. You can mark here also. This is pole core and this is pole shoe. Okay. So first of all, pole core. Our next part is pole core. Before going to that, I will explain this thing. This is field winding. Field winding is a winding that placed on the, it will go and come back, placed on the armature, field winding is the winding that placed on pole core. So what is the need of this winding? We will take the terminals of this winding, and connect a battery, or we will give a DC supply. Battery is not necessary, just we have to give a DC supply. Then only the pole will produce flux. That is, this is a temporary magnet. Whenever you are giving this excitation source through the excitation winding, then only it will produce flux. So for producing flux in the magnetic pole, the excitation winding and excitation source is important. If it is a DC source, its polarity will not change. North pole will be always north and south pole will be always south. Okay. If it is an AC source, what happens? In each half cycle, its polarity will change. We know that in all machines we are using DC flux or steady flux. So excitation source is always DC. So this field winding, we can see in the front view also. This is field winding. Where we are placing this field winding? This field winding is placed on the pole core. Before that, I will tell you what is the material. The material is cast steel or silicon steel. Cast steel or silicon steel. So cast steel is enough for small machines, but if it is large machine, we are adding silicon into that, so that its conductivity will get reduced. If conductivity is reduced, we can reduce eddy current loss. Okay, that we will explain later. Eddy current loss is some circulating current that will produce inside the magnetic material, and that will produce some heat and some loss will happen. But if silicon is added, its conductivity will get reduced, so that the circulating current cannot easily pass. So silicon steel is a better magnetic material. So cast steel or silicon steel can be used as a material for pole core and pole shoe. For both the things, material is same, pole core and pole shoe. Second point, we can laminate this pole core. Laminate means we can make each lamination in this shape. Small laminations, and we can stack all this together by using bolting. And each lamination will be separated by small insulating material coating. Then circulating current will not get passed, so that eddy current will get reduced. So laminations are made in case of large machines. If it is a small machines, laminations is not needed. So these are the 2 points. First point is, we can use cast iron or cast steel to make the pole core and pole shoe. Cast steel or silicon steel. If silicon is added to the steel, its conductivity will get reduced so that eddy current loss will be reduced. If it is large machines, in order to reduce eddy current loss, we can make laminations for making the entire stator. Entire stator is made with number of small laminations like this, and they will be stacked together. Next thing, functions of pole core. First function, a field winding is placed on the pole core. That is the first and important function. Field winding is placed on the pole core. Second function, okay, please write that function. Field winding is placed on pole core. Second function, if excitation is given, this pole core will act as a magnet. If excitation is given, this pole core acts as a magnet. These are the two functions of pole core. So third part is pole shoe. I already told you that material used to make pole shoe and pole core are same. That is cast steel or silicon steel. If silicon is added to steel, it is known as silicon steel, and that will reduce the conductivity of steel so that eddy current loss will get reduced. Okay. Now, the functions of pole shoe. Functions of pole shoe are, it supports the field winding. You can see here, if the field winding is very bulky, what happened? It will touches on the pole shoe. If pole shoe is not made in such a shape, what happens? It cannot stay here. It cannot stay in the uniform shape. So, for supporting the field winding, the shape of pole shoe is very important. So, first function is of the pole shoe is supports field winding. It supports field winding. What is the second function? Second function is very important. Its shape, look at the shape of this pole shoe. It is having a wider shape so that the area increases. If area increases, resistance decreases. What is the equation of resistance? R is equal to rho L by A. If area increases, resistance decreases. In magnetic circuit, resistance is identical as reluctance. Reluctance is just same as resistance. It is the opposition of a magnetic material against the flow of flux. The material will oppose the flux. So we don't want reluctance. We want to reduce the reluctance so that the flux can easily pass. So reluctance is having almost same equation. Reluctance is inversely proportional to area. So if area increases, reluctance reduces. So flux will easily pass. So the area of pole shoe is larger compared to pole core, so that area increases and reluctance offered by the material reduces, so that flux can easily pass. That is the second function. And third function, as it is having a wider shape, flux can be uniformly distributed. Flux can be uniformly distributed. Due to its shape, you have to write that also. Due to its wider shape, flux can be uniformly distributed. These are the three functions of pole shoe. Okay, now we are going into rotor side. This is the rotor. Inside it there is a shaft, and commutator will be also here. Commutator segments will be also here visible, and your brushes will be here. This is the arrangement of a rotor. So first part inside the rotor is rotor core. So rotor core means this thing, the big cylinder. This is the rotor core. Its outside, generally first point is rotor core is made with silicon steel. Silicon steel. We are not mentioning cast steel. Silicon steel is needed because it should be a very good magnetic material and it should be less affected by eddy current loss because the entire flux from north to south has to pass through this core. If it is a bad magnetic material, flux cannot easily pass. So it will be generally made with good magnetic material, silicon steel, and it is generally laminated. A number of cross sections are made and then they are joined. So such laminations are separated by insulation. Then the eddy current loss will get reduced. Generally laminated. Generally laminated. For what? Laminated to reduce eddy current loss. Whenever you are writing laminated, you have to add that to reduce eddy current loss. And these are the first things. Then the functions. First function, as it is a good magnetic material, it offers a low reluctance path. Reluctance means opposition. Low reluctance path for flux. This is the main point. Because if it is made with wood, what happened? Will flux pass? No. Like that, as it is a good magnetic material, it offers a low reluctance path for flux. Flux can easily pass. Second point, you can see some slots are there on the outer periphery. In the front view, you can see some cuttings only, but it is actually long slots where I can place winding conductors. This is one conductor. This is another conductor. In front view, these conductors will be marked as a small dots like AB, what we did in previous class. But in side view, you can see the total conductor AB, CD like that. So this outer periphery is slotted. You have to write that. Its outer periphery is slotted to accommodate armature winding. Accommodates armature winding. It accommodates armature windings. These are the two functions of armature core. Okay, so rotor core, better you have to call it as armature core. That is good. Armature core. And next part is armature winding. Armature winding. In that, you have to write few points. Armature windings are copper conductors inserted on the slots. That is the first point. Copper conductors inserted on the slots. Second point, they are generally connected in lap passion or wave passion. They are generally connected in lap bar wave winding method. You can write like that. Lap bar wave winding methods. We will explain this later. Third thing, they will provide a low resistance path for armature current. A low resistance path for armature current. So, armature current is a AC current that is produced inside the armature conductors, and we will connect that armature conductors into these segments, commutator segments. Then this commutator segment will convert that AC current into DC. We know that things. Now the third part is commutator. Third part is commutator. Okay, so this is commutator. This is the side view, and this is the round area that we are seeing from the front view. This is the front view of commutator, and here side view is also shown. Okay, so you can see number of commutator segments. This is one segment, this is another segment. A number of commutator segments are there. Each segment is separated by mica insulation. Generally, mica insulation is having 0.8 mm thickness. 0.8 mm thickness that can withstand 20 to 40 volt. A mica insulation of 0.8 mm thickness can withstand 20 to 40 volt. And the material that we are using for segments is hard drawn copper. Hard drawn copper is the material. Okay. Hard drawn copper is the material that we are using to make commutator segment. Why we are using such a hard material? Because brush is connected on always touching on the commutator segment. In order to reduce the wear and tear, we are using hard drawn copper. Please write that. In order to reduce the wear and tear caused by brushes, we are using hard drawn copper. Okay. Now, what is the function of commutator segment? This commutator segment in split ring arrangement. Split ring arrangement, that is important. Split ring arrangement will convert AC in the armature current to DC at the output side. So, what is the function? These commutator segments will convert AC in the armature winding to DC at the output side. So, that is the one and only function. You should write that. So, function is conversion of AC to DC. Okay, now the last component, that is brush. The fourth component in the rotor side is brush. So, what is the function of brush? If it is a generator, we have to take the current towards the load. So, function of a brush in a generator is to take the current or to collect the current from commutator. In case of generator, for generator, if it is a motor, what is the function of brush? To supply. If it is motor, we have to give current. To supply current to the commutator. In case of motor. So, this is the function of brush. Now, what is the material we are using to make the brush? Generally, we know carbon is the highly used material. Generally used material is carbon. For small rated machines, in your home you can see inside the mixie, small ranges you can see carbon brush. So, carbon brush is the most common brush. It is having good self-lubricating properties. That's why we are generally using carbon. But for large machines, electrographite brushes are used. For large machines, electrographite or copper graphite brushes are used for large machines. So, these are the three type of brushes: carbon brushes for small machines, electrographite or copper graphite brushes for large machines. So, this is the construction details of DC generator or DC motor. This is very important. You can see this in many question papers. So, learn these things very well in point by point method. Don't need to write everything with an unarranged manner. You have to write what is the material used, what are the functions, like that. Okay. So you have to draw this drawing very neatly. You have to mark each and every parts: armature core, armature winding, commutator, like that. Commutator, brush, armature winding, armature core, yoke, pole shoe, like that. You have to mark all the components. So hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you.